Negative infinite affinity times 2 text too small. Negative infinite affinity times 3 text too small. Negative infinite affinity times 4 text too small. Negative infinite affinity times 5 text too small. Negative infinite affinity times 6 text too small. Negative infinite affinity times 7 text too small. Negative infinite affinity times text too small. Negative infinite affinity times 5 text too small. Negative infinite affinity times 10 text too small. Negative infinite affinity times 11 text too small. Negative infinite affinity times 12 text too small. Negative infinite affinity times 20 text too small.
Infinitesimal. Infinity minus 1 text too small.
Infinite affinity s dot p dot b dot e dot m dot I cubes text too small. Infinite affinity s dot p dot u dot m dot j cubes text small. Infinite affinity s dot p dot u dot m dot j dot t cubes text small. Infinite affinity s dot p dot u dot m cubes text small. Infinite affinity sub 4 duper cubes text small. Infinite affinity sub 4 cubes text small. Infinite affinity double cubes text small. Infinite affinity small. Infinite affinity square texts infinite affinity times master affinity text too small. Infinite affinity times growth affinity text too small. Infinite affinity times absolute subdet of fusion text too small. Infinite affinity times never text too small. Infinite affinity times absolute hallway affinity text too small. Infinite affinity times goals affinity text too small. Infinite affinity times absolute infinite affinity times 2 dot affinity text too small. Infinite affinity times super dot affinity text too small. Infinite affinity times dot affinity text too small.
Infinite affinity times more affinity s b u do infinite affinity times more affinity text too small. Infinite affinity times affinity text too small. Infinite affinity
Infinite affinity times affinity text too small. Infinite affinity times mega affinity text. Infinite affinity times super affinity cube text too small. Infinite affinity times super affinity score text too small. Infinite affinity times super affinity to affinity text too small. Infinite affinity times super affinity absolute never text too small. Infinite affinity times super affinity text too small. Infinite affinity times to affinity text too small.
Infinite affinity times absolute never 10 text too small. Infinite affinity times absolute never 7 text too small.
Too small.
Infinite affinity times absolute never 6 text too small. Infinite affinity times absolute text too small. Infinite affinity times absolute never 4 text too small. Infinite Infinite affinity times absolute never 3 text too small. Infinite affinity times absolute never 2 text too small. Infinite affinity times absolute never text too small. Infinite affinity times capital var cube text too small. Infinite affinity times capital var text too small. Infinite affinity times absolute every number text too small. Infinite affinity times 6x power 6x text too small. Infinite affinity times 5x power 5x text too small. Infinite affinity times 4x power 4x plus 4x text too small. Infinite affinity times 4x power 4x plus 3x text too small. Infinite affinity times 4x power 4x plus 2x text too small. Infinite affinity times 4x power 4x plus 1x text too small. Infinite affinity times 4x power 4x text too small. Infinite affinity times 3x power 3x plus 4x text too small. Infinite affinity times 3x power 3x plus 3x text too small. Infinite affinity times 3x power 3x plus 2x text too small. Infinite affinity times 3x power 3x plus 1x text too small. Infinite affinity times 3x power 3x text too small. Infinite affinity times 2x power 2x plus 6x text too small. Infinite affinity times 2x power 2x plus 5x text too small. Infinite affinity times 2x power 2x plus 4x text too small. Infinite affinity times 2x power 2x plus 3x text too small. Infinite affinity times 2x power 2x plus 2x text too small. Infinite affinity times 2x power 2x plus 1x text too small. Infinite affinity times 2x power 2x text too small. Infinite affinity times 1x plus 9x text too small. Infinite affinity times 1x power 1x plus 8x text too small. Infinite affinity times 1x power 1x plus 7x text too small. Infinite affinity times 1x power 1x plus 6x text too small. Infinite affinity times 1x power 1x plus 5x text too small. Infinite affinity times 1x power 1x plus 4x text too small. Infinite affinity times 1x power 1x plus 3x text too small. Infinite affinity times 1x power 1x plus 2x text too small. Infinite affinity times 1x power 1x plus 1x text too small. Infinite affinity times 1x power 1x text too small. Infinite affinity times 9x text too small. Infinite affinity times 8x text too small. Infinite affinity times 7x text too small. Infinite affinity times 6x text too small. Infinite affinity times 5x text too small. Infinite affinity times 4x text too small. Infinite affinity times 3x text too small. Infinite affinity times 2x text too small. Infinite affinity times 1x text too small. Infinite affinity times n-x is the original text too small. Infinite affinity times absolutely super everything text too small. Infinite affinity times absolute everything text too small. Infinite affinity times absolute wings infinity text too small. Infinite affinity times absolute infinity text small. Infinite affinity times infinity text.
Infinity times 1 quadrillion text too small. Infinity times 9 billion text too small. Infinity times 8 billion text too small. Infinity times 7 billion text too small. Infinity times 6 billion text too small. Infinity times 5 billion text too small. Infinity times 4 billion text too small. Infinity times 2 billion text too small. Infinity times 1 billion text small. Infinity times 100 billion text small. Infinity times 10 billion text small.
Infinite affinity times 1 billion text too small. Infinite affinity times 100 million text too small. Infinite affinity times 10 million text too small.
Infinity times 6 million text too small. Infinity times 5 million text too small.
Infinity times 4 million text too small.
Infinity times 3 million text too small.
Infinite affinity times 2 million text too small.
Infinity times 1 million text too small.
Infinite affinity times 100,000 text too small. Infinite affinity times 10,000 text too small.
Infinity times 4,000 text too small.
Infinite affinity times 3,000 text too small.
Infinity times 2,000 text too small.
Infinite affinity times 1,000 text too small.
Infinite affinity times 999 text too small.
Infinity times 200 text too small.
Infinite affinity times 100 text too small. Infinite affinity times 30 text too small. Infinite affinity times 20 text small. Infinite affinity times 12 text too small. Infinite affinity times 11 text too small. Infinite affinity times 10 text too small.
Infinity times 9 text too small. Infinity times 8 text too small. Infinity times 7 text too small. Infinity times 6 text too small.
Infinite affinity times 5 text too small. Infinite affinity times 4 text too small. Infinite affinity times 3 text too small. Infinite affinity times 2 text too small. Infinite affinity times 1 text too small. Infinite affinity plus 1 trillion text too small. Infinite affinity plus 1 billion text too small. Infinite affinity plus 1 million text too small. Infinite affinity plus 100,000 text too small. Infinite affinity plus 10,000 text too small. Infinite affinity plus 1,000 text too small. Infinite affinity plus 100 text too small. Infinite affinity plus 10 text small. Infinite affinity plus 1 text too small. Infinite affinity more.
Infinity times 0.5 text small.
Infinite affinity minus 2 text small.
Infinity minus 5 text too small. Infinity minus 10 text too small. Infinity minus 100 text too small. Infinity minus 1,000 text too small. Infinity minus 10,000 text too small. Infinity minus 100,000 text too small. Infinity minus 1 million text too small. Infinity minus 10 million text too small. Infinity minus 1 billion text too small. Infinity minus 10 billion text too small. Infinity minus 100 billion text too small. Infinity minus 1 billion text too small. Infinity billion text too small. Infinity times 100 billion text too small. Infinity minus 1 billion text too small. Infinity minus 10 billion text too small. Infinity minus 1 billion text too small. Infinity minus 1 6 billion text too small. Infinity minus 1 billion text too small. Infinity minus 4 billion text too small. Infinity minus 1 billion text too small. Infinity times 1 billion text too small. Infinity minus 10 billion text too small. Infinity minus 100 billion text too small. Infinity minus 500 billion text too small. Infinity minus 1 billion text too small. Infinity times 10 billion text too small. Infinity text too small. Infinity minus 10 billion text too small. Infinity minus 100 billion text too small. Infinity minus 500 billion text too small. Infinity minus 1 billion text too small. Infinity times infinity text too small. Infinity minus 1 text too small. Infinity text Infinity text to small.